All right, we in the circle rolling now. So shout out to all you guys out there in YouTube land. What the hell are you over there doing? Shout out to all you guys out there. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, thank y'all for tuning in, because you guys are the reason that I make YouTube videos. Dude. But shout out to all you guys out there. My neighbors over there knocking on something. But shout out to Colette Davis. Shout out to all you guys that are out there, wherever you are, wherever you're from. If you have any questions, now's the time to get them out the way. Shout out to David. Shout out to Diff, the cow. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I can't complain. Life is short, and make the best of it while you can. You guys know that I've talked about a lot of oil field stuff over the years. Mary G. Durham, shout out to you. Chelsea, Washington, shout out to you. Diff, thank you for subbing, man. Appreciate that. Can I have a shout out? It's my birthday. Shout out to Chase Fan. Shout out to all you guys that's watching this. I don't make lives as much as I used to when I was driving, because of just a lot more driving time. I tried to make this live outside, but the mosquitoes just were not having it at all. And you know, the biggest difference between Mississippi and North Dakota is the mosquitoes. Mississippi mosquitoes will land on you and you won't know it. North Dakota mosquitoes would just run into you. Like they were trying to find you and they lost you or something. Like it didn't even take long at all. But I got a couple points I want to bring up. I made a job post, so if any of you guys are looking for companies hiring right now, today, go to my channel. It'll be the third or fourth video from the top when you click on videos. There's also another one about offshore. So if you guys wanted that information, that's also on there. But I wanted to bring this up to you guys that when you're applying for a job in the oil and gas industry, really anywhere, you do have to be persistent unless there's a serious deficit when it comes to available people. Like when I went up to North Dakota, first time in the oil boom up there, it was still going pretty good. Well, they were pretty much picking everybody that wanted to work. Now, you got to think about it. The oil and gas industry has fluctuated at least 2 or 3 times between 2014 and now. So, with that being said, you're going to have to be more persistent. You're going to have to apply, then you're going to have to follow up after you apply. I'm pretty sure I talked about it before, but also you guys can check out Bakken Brothers. Hold on a minute, and I'll show you guys what they Bakken Brothers. There's some guys up in North Dakota making content in the oil field. Shout out to Mike's Mischief. So if you're up there, I ain't got nothing going today. I'm just chilling. I am just at home, chilling, living life, enjoying being around what is this beautiful place. And both places are great places to live, in my opinion. North Dakota is great to live in. Mississippi, the South, the Pine Belt, which is Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, it's kind of that Pine Belt area. I missed the truck show, so I didn't get a chance to go to that. Bakken Brothers. All right, Bakken Brothers. I want to show you what their channel looks like, so you guys can go check them out when you get a chance. So if you're interested, it is. Go back. That's them right there. Bakken Brothers. Hopefully y'all can see that. But that's what their channel looks like. Well, okay, good. Okay, I guess you can't see it any more clearer than that. But it's just @ Bakken Brothers. You know, you'll see it. Whatever you're looking to do in the oil and gas industry, make sure that's what you're prepared to do. Now I'm going to talk to Terrell. But start going to the gym, brother, before you go out there and go work. Like, make sure you start going to the gym first, work out 2-3 times a week, and then go out there to the oil field. So while you're applying, once you hear that okay, appreciate that, Chelsea watching. That's their, yep, that's their YouTube channel. Like the little circle, Bakken Brothers, that's their YouTube channel. And they're making content up there in North Dakota. Mike's Mischief, which is Mike's Mischief. I don't think it has any numbers in it, but man, you guys are the reason I make YouTube videos. It always has been. The first time I started making YouTube videos, it was to show somebody something so that they could see what it was like when they were first asking me about driving trucks. And it was actually a friend of mine. He was asking me about, you know, trucking. Do I like it? You know, what's it like? And I started explaining to him, you know, it's you're gonna be away, so get used to that part of it. You're gonna be in places that you've never been before. You're gonna meet people that you never met before. You're gonna see different state cultures and stuff that you may or may not be used to or ever even heard of. You know, you're gonna get to some places and you're gonna be like, oh, you're the only one. Yes. So if you've never been outside your little circle of space and stuff, I'm telling you, there's a lot going on out here in this world. And I'll shout out to Truck Community, those guys also. He's right. Moreno Mac. He's right. There was an obese guy who had a heart attack out here a month back, and due to heat exhaustion, at least be decently in shape. Yeah. I started going to the gym before I went back to the oil field from trucking, because especially if you're going from trucking to the oil field where the labor part of it is. What I did was not as much heavy labor, but there is some stuff. Flowback, that's mostly for young guys or people just getting into the oil field, or if you don't have a CDL. I know a number of people that, I'm not saying any names, they lost their CDL, so they started doing flowback, or they lost their CDL, so they started doing something else until they get their CDL back, and they either going back to driving trucks or they're going back to what they were doing before. So keep that in mind. That CDL is a really, really, really important thing. It's not something to be played with. I would tell anybody, don't risk it, because over time they're going to start tying more stuff to your CDL. So if a person does this, just like the point system with the driver's license, it's the same thing with the CDL. So keep that stuff in mind. And over time they're going to make things more strict. As far as real estate in North Dakota or the oil field period, stuff like that, I'd say it's probably more of a buyer's market, but don't get me wrong, North Dakota is a great place. I would say, from my personal experience of spending time living and working up there, have all of y'all with y'all. If you can go up there and get roots in first and then bring your family in, it'll be a heck of a lot easier. It'll be a heck of a lot easier, other than you just going up there and just trying to strongman it all the time. It's cool if you want to do that. Moreno Max says, I would buy real estate when there's a downturn personally. Yep, real estate downturns don't really come that much. That 07 hit, that was really it, as far as I know, as far as something that was such a dip in the market that everybody could take advantage of. Matter of fact, you could look at COVID the same way. And if you put some money into the stock market during that time, you could see that everybody who held on to it, for whatever companies didn't fold, I mean, man, they've come out pretty good ahead. Trying to get caught up to you guys' comments. And shout out to all you guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Please subscribe. To anybody else that you know, maybe a young person, older guy, whoever it is, let me get my stuff on the phone straight so I can get to the stuff that I had listed to talk about. Man, can't do nothing out here unless it's in the middle of the day. That's the only time the mosquitoes ain't out real bad. Chester, Washington, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just getting my stuff together on my phone. And I'll try and make some more lives for you guys from time to time, but this next week I'm just focusing on the goal for Saturday. What I got planned for next Saturday, that's exactly what I got. I got That's exactly what I got set up to do. Some of you guys got some questions on here I want to get to. Hey, this guy, Doc Rob, actually, he said you should get chewed out for letting water freeze at -degrees. Had me laughing because of the time I got chewed out my second year for letting salt water freeze in the pipeline. Guys, in North Dakota, I want to tell y'all, if you go up there to work, if it's related to fresh water, well, really any kind of water. Matter of fact, any kind of anything that can freeze. It could be something liquid in a bucket. When it gets to -30, it's gonna freeze if it's outside. We also have heaters. Make sure when they bring the heaters out to y'all that they have the hoses and the T's that go to them. So if you have one heater and the heater only has one outlet for the hot air coming out, you have the T so that you can route heat two different directions. Make sure they bring those out. It's still warm down here, but I know it's starting to drop up there in North Dakota. I've been checking the weather, so keep that stuff in mind. When it comes to that fluid pump, I got some more videos coming up this week. Actually, man, coming up all the rest of this month and going into November. I've got more and more videos that I'm going to be dropping 12:05 p.m. So it's pretty much at lunchtime. So if any of you guys are taking lunch, you can check those videos out. When it comes to stuff that'll freeze up there, most companies, if not all, will have a procedure for winterizing equipment. Make sure you follow that procedure for winterizing equipment. Even if you don't feel like it, if somebody told you that they did it, double check it. Then inform one of the other people you're working with that the information was transferred to you, that they did it. Just cover yourself, because I've been in the oil field since 2014. It's 10 and a half years, and there's plenty of people that have been in the oil field a whole lot longer than me. We forget stuff. I've forgotten stuff. You'll start doing one thing and get done with this part. Somebody needs a hand doing this. You'll go give them a hand doing that. It's just part of the industry. If it was perfect where everybody could do everything all at once, or some perfect kind of way, but it ain't that way. You're gonna have to make stuff work. I heard Bakken brothers talk about getting it done, and if you're going to go work in the oil field, man, that is number one. If you won't do it, they will get you out of there and get somebody that will. The company you work for will. The company man who is Exxon's representative, Cord's representative, Continental's representative, Hess's representative, and the list goes on. Shell representative. They will get somebody that will do it. Whether they will get rid of the whole company that you work with. I'd like to give y'all an example if I hadn't already. The truck pushers for the sand were pushing the sand one day. I'm not gonna say who, but one of them was climbing up on a truck for some reason, and they fell off the truck and hurt their leg or their ankle or something. All right, everything was all good. About a week or two went by. They were supposed to come back to work, and she said she wasn't coming back to work. And they said, yeah, you are coming back to work. And she said, no. They said, yeah, otherwise we're gonna have to let you go. And she said, okay, I'll talk to my lawyer. And once the lawyers got involved, the lawyers were pointing at everybody. So the oil company said, oh, okay, all of y'all can go. So the company man kicked off the whole sand company because of that one person making everybody liable for what went on with them. One choice can make a big difference in the oil field, man. So keep in mind what you're going to go do. Some of the work is hard, some of the work is not as hard as other work. It's just a matter of what fits you, and in the beginning, when you don't know, you're gonna have to figure it out. If you have a CDL already, I can talk to you a whole lot more, because I went into the oil field with a CDL, and I've been riding my CDL the entire time in the oil field. What I mean by that is my CDL opens doors for me. Then my experience on top of that gets me a yes before I apply. That's not bragging. That's not I'm not boasting or boosting myself up or nothing like that. I'm just being honest about it. If you go into the oil field with nothing, you're gonna need somebody. You're gonna need somebody, or you're gonna have to be lucky to get hired in the oil field. Like I was talking about in my job post video, there's probably 100,000 plus, maybe even 1 million people applying. So what makes you stand out from them? Half of them may have oil field experience in some way, shape, form, or fashion, or something relatable to the oil and gas industry, and the other half may not. And if you're in that half that may not, how do you get out of that sea of people to where you're trying to get to? So you can apply to a smaller company. Ghost Time Bullets, what's up, man? Man, I know y'all over there. I think a Truck Community Live, they probably talking about some trucking stuff. I don't know. I ain't checked it out. I know I ain't been over there in a while, but UFC is on tonight, so that's what I'm watching. And then football is tomorrow. Chelsea says I gotta go. Shout out to Chelsea. What's up? Peace. See you later next time. Monroe Mac. Currently 144. Yeah, more than likely you're right. Yeah. Monroe Mac, you're right, bro. It's a lot of high-paying service companies out there, and they'll put you to work in a man camp. That's the biggest thing that everybody's looking for. And I'll tell you from first-hand experience, and I've experienced this more than once. I've applied for, let's say, like 2 or 3 companies in the past, and they called me, and they sent me an offer letter, and the offer letter said they had housing. I don't think I brought it up to them. I asked them, but they said that they have housing available, but they may not tell you that right off the bat. So that's it. That's exactly why I made this video. How you going to bridge that gap between you living in Jackson, Mississippi, Memphis, Alabama, you live in Atlanta, Georgia, you live in Cleveland, Ohio, to go work in the oil and gas industry in Midland, Texas, to go work in the oil and gas industry in North Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado. You got to be able to bridge that gap. That's almost like a problem for you, because it's going to show it on your application that you're not in the area if you're not within a reasonable driving distance. It's just like one of the companies on the offshore video that I made, the job post video, they said that they were looking for local, but then if you went further down the page, and I was looking on Indeed, type in oil and gas, offshore oil and gas, or oil field, frack, wireline, and you can pretty much watch the video and see what I'm talking about. So how are you going to bridge that gap between where you are? I lived in my vehicle. I'm not going to say, man, that's cool for anybody to do, but man, you got to do what you got to do. I've been broke before, so hey, it is what it is, man. Shout out to Carl Anderson. Thank you for the years of service and helping people secure jobs they were not typically attained. If I wasn't retired from government work, I'd head that way. Carl, you retired, bro. More power to you. Man, don't look back, bro. Hey, that's kind of what we all are really trying to do. We're trying to put ourselves in a better position, in a better place. That's all that matters, bro. I ain't out here trying to hurt nobody, steal nothing from nobody, get in nobody's way. That's it. All the other stuff, man, I don't know what they're talking about. Ghost Time, but it's good seeing you live, brother. Man, good seeing you over here too, bro. I'm not over, there as much as I used to be, because, you know, and you got to take breaks from this stuff too. That's why, you've seen periods of time, and thank you, Carl Anderson, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. That's why, forgot my train of thought. But like I was saying, it's good to take breaks. It's good to take breaks. Also, Blocking Brother was talking about another point. He was talking about working long hours. Depending on what you do and how bad you want that money, once you get to a company that has plenty of work and they need some extra people, you can become Whiskey Mike. Well, you just work all the time. Every time I go to work, I see you. I get off, I see you. I go to the shop, I see you. You're there working all the time. But Whiskey Mike is winning. So, hey, just start calling you Winning Mike. But trying to think what else. If you guys have any questions or know anybody who has any questions or want to ask me anything, now's the time to get it out the way, because I am on live. And when these mosquitoes start getting to be too much, I'm going in the house. So, Carl Anderson, appreciate that, man. Thank you, and thank you. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I gave a shout out to everybody that's on here. Colette Davis, Diff the Cow, Mary G, Duran. I think I said Chelsea Washington, Chase fan. Shout out to you. Make sure I'm getting all you guys' comments in case I missed anybody. I already said shout out to Monroe Mac. Shout out to Jonata. I don't know how you pronounce that. Grunty 144. It's hard to see a housing crash happening again. Everything is just gonna get expensive, man. Yeah, bro. Dude, everything is expensive, man. So all of y'all who've been thinking about creating those multiple streams of income, buy land, because they ain't making no more of that. That's the first thing I say. Also look where you buy it. Anyway, is water hauling steady up there? Water hauling's always steady, unless there's a significant crash in the oil and gas industry where everybody gets hit. That 15 crash where everybody was making oil. OPEC said they weren't going to cut production. United States said they weren't going to cut production. So the entire market got flooded with oil, and the price just started to sink. COVID was kind of the same thing, but it was from a different route where oil was being produced like normal, but nobody was using it. So there was just so much of it that it took a while for stuff to kind of get back to normal. Yeah, COVID oil. COVID oil. Y'all gotta be honest, man. The 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, all the way to now. We're probably the greatest generation of people that have lived to see everything. From here forward, like nothing really surprises you. Especially if you're my age, you're closer to my age, a little bit younger, a little bit older. Nothing really surprises. We kind of seen it all. So what's the way forward? What do you mean motivation? Shout out to motivation. Shout out to you too. Shout out to Takudzwa Chikoma. And you're welcome. I got probably 10 or 15 videos that y'all will see coming out over the next few days from now all the way into November. How to operate equipment, more job posts, because I actually got an idea for making this most recent job post that I made, and it kind of gave me some ideas for some other stuff. I wish I'd have thought of the stuff in North Dakota, but when I'm working and grinding, it's more of working, enjoying, staying focused, save, invest, repeat. And that's kind of what I'm focused on, versus when you take some home time and you come home and I'm just sitting outside in my truck. Just sitting outside in my truck. Looking at my other truck. In front of this truck. Looking at my house. Looking at my backyard. Looking at my pipe racks that I got oil field pipe on. Why do I have oil field pipe in my backyard? It came with the yard. And I'm trying to think, man. Let me get back to the comments. I was Monroe Mac. Oh yeah, Monroe Mac, man. You also one of the people that inspired this video today, because it was your comment and it was Doc Rob. Actually, it was both of you guys' comments that made me make some more videos and made me think about why I've kept making videos. Mike's Mischief, he makes all kinds of trucking. He makes videos. I think I showed y'all earlier his channel. Maybe I didn't. Mike's Mischief. But that's his channel, Mike's Mischief. Hopefully you guys can see that. Mike's Mischief. And I messaged Mike, this was some years ago now, when he was making videos with some other guys, and then Mike just started making his own stuff, man. Like, hell yeah, bro. Mike makes drag strip videos. He makes videos about like tractor pulls, demolition derbies. Mike make videos about Jake brakes on semi trucks, going down mountains and hills and stuff. He also does mechanic work, so he'll show you guys how to work on some stuff. So you guys can check him out also. And get back to the comments. But Monroe Mac and Doc Rob, actually, I really like to read this to you guys. I'll read both of them. Hold on. Let me find this. Monroe Mac. Thanks for all your content. I started watching a few years ago and ended up leaving my dead-end job in Dallas-Fort Worth. Now I commute to the Bakken once a month for work. I've learned almost all the positions on a frac crew except for the treating and I've established a solid place out here. Now I'm looking to get into wireline after I get my CDL. I've heard good things about Go Wireline and Pintail. I don't know who Pintail is unless you use speech to text and it puts something else there instead. Pintail. I don't know who that is. I know who Go Wireline is. Ye worked at a Go Wireline for over a year, but then they had him where he had to have his CDL in order to keep working there, and I think after that COVID hit. Are there any other companies around Watford City or Williston that you'd recommend to apply? As far as with your CDL, or are you talking about you without your CDL? Yeah, hot oil truck is easy money. All you're gonna do is in a hot oiler, but you're gonna at least need a class B. But if they have the hot oiler and they're hauling the tank behind it, then you have to have a class A. But if it's just a hot oiler truck, then you can get away with a class B. But if you're gonna go get a commercial driver's license, you might as well get it all. I was talking to somebody else. They asked me, what's better to get? All of it. Get everything. The only difference is your TWIC card. I started getting all of it, so I just kept doing it. Like my hazmat, I got my CDL hazmat tankers. I got all of those together the first time. Then some time later, I went back and I got doubles and triples, because doubles and triples are so easy to get. Why not get it? Then you have all of them. CDL Class A, hazmat, tankers, doubles and triples. And you'll find out if you work somewhere where you have other truck drivers, you'll be the only one that has all of it. Or you may be one of two, and that's it. Especially when it comes to doubles and triples. There's quite a bit of heavy haul stuff in the oil and gas industry. So you'll have an opportunity to use that. That'll also make you stand out amongst everybody else who just has a Class A CDL and they can drive. They know that if you drive off somewhere and you get stopped, they don't have to worry about you not having it. And I'll be honest, yes, I have driven some doubles and triples stuff. When I didn't have doubles and triples, I said, man, I don't care. What's somebody gonna say? Anyway, are there any other companies around Watford City or Williston that you'd recommend to apply? As a new person to the oil field, if you're a younger guy, any of the frac companies, because there's a lot to learn in frac. Any of the flowback companies, water transfer companies, workover rig companies, drilling companies. Pressure pumping services. People that do pump down, that's another one. Because you'll have your pump operator, then you're going to have at least one or two guys that's going to be with them, and then they'll work as a team to rig up iron, set up all the cones, chalk blocks, set out fire extinguishers. All of that safety stuff has to get done, and make sure you take your time and do it. When it comes to weather, summertime, man, drink plenty of water. In North Dakota, there's a big difference between, you won't sweat that much up there. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I never really sweated a lot, except when it rained a lot, and then the sun was pulling the water back out the ground. I would sweat a lot. But other than that, you don't really sweat that much, because it's really dry. Versus down here, it's hot down here, man. Dude, I mean, no question. Ranger Energy Services. Ranger does work over rig and pipeline. Any of the work over rig, also man, pipeline companies. So for any of you guys that, I guess that's another job post I need to make. If you guys want me to make a pipeline job post, which pipeline is going to be heavy equipment operators, work hands or roustabouts. That's going to be a lot of what pipeline is. I've never done pipeline. I've seen it plenty of times. Welders, also welders. Welders is in pipeline, but welders are also in the oil field part of it. So if you know anybody that does welding, tell them to send me a message. Lowenbro, that's a big pipeline company up there. Kinder Morgan, that's another one. There's a bunch of them, and the oil field is not just in North Dakota. It's in South Louisiana. I was looking at opportunities over there in South Louisiana, and it was showing, man, some of them paying pretty doggone good. Some of them are paying pretty doggone good. Trying to think what else. Shout out to Caleb if you watching this video. You, the other people that I talked to, other people that I told to check out my content, that I gave flyers to for my content. I don't have any of them in here. That job post was for any and everybody that was looking for opportunities. And I know a lot of times people don't know exactly what they're looking for or what to apply for, but hopefully that right there will give you some stuff that you can go on the one where it says focus, man. Anyway, this YouTube live is really not the best live to do it. I think StreamYard is a lot better, but we'll work with what we got. There's also another comment I really want to get to. Bobby Franklin, get that hazmat, get that tanker. Doubles and triples are kind of optional. Sterling Will, what's up, man? Are you good out there on the road, bro? Bobby Franklin, hazmat, tankers, because they damn near go hand in hand. Doubles and triples are kind of optional, not really. Passenger, I don't know. But doubles, tankers, and hazmat, absolutely. How long does it take to get a CDL license, and what's the testing like? It depends. I would advise you to go to a community college where it's going to be Oregon dinner time. Hey Sterling, Chicomba, hold on a second. Hey Sterling, do y'all is it lobster over there, or is that in Maine where y'all have the lobster at? I think they have lobster on the East Coast, not the West Coast. I don't know, but shout out to you, Sterling Will. Thank you for that super chat, man. Appreciate that. Like I said, you guys are the reason that I've kept making YouTube videos and content. And there's plenty of times I was like, man, don't just be done with this. And then I've always seen it as it must be helping somebody. Because anytime that I've ever got discouraged or just said, man, I ain't doing this no more, it's like the Lord would just send me a little motivation every single time. And it didn't matter whether I was down here or whether I was in North Dakota, I got a little, a little push to, keep going, keep going. And that's why I kept making videos. Okay, we know it's not Maine. I forgot where I was at. Chicomba, how long does it take to get a CDL license, and what's the testing like? The testing's easy. It's just, the testing is to make sure that you can move the truck. That's it. It's making sure that you can go a few miles, get on and off the highway, come to a stop, make a turn, judge distance. It's really the very basic stuff. You're going to learn how to drive a truck once you get somewhere where somebody's going to train you and have you going into places that you've never been, in snow. And I hope that you get a trainer who does all 50 states so you can see all of it. Tell them you want the absolute best trainer and you want to learn everything. That's what I did. And me and Tim went everywhere. We went up north. We went where there was snow. Everywhere. And that's who I learned how to drive from. That's where my confidence came from. That guy helped me pretty much be who I am today, and he's part of how I got here. And as far as how long, 2 to 3 weeks. I would advise you to get it from your CDL from your local junior college. That's going to be your cheapest route. And depending on what your income is, go to your local employment office and apply for any kind of programs that they may have to help fund you get your CDL. Sterling Will, you can't drive a truck if you're afraid to drive a truck anywhere. Dude, he can attest to it. He can say it. Sterling, if you would take the time and make a video on your channel and talk about this subject so that anybody who's thinking about it, because I'll cover it too, and anybody else that has content, is making content, you've been trucking. I've been through some stuff in trucking that I've seen other people in a ditch. The 2012, 2013 snowstorm that came across Minnesota, I drove through that, but I think all of the other stuff happened behind me. But I just kept driving because I knew, okay, if I stopped, the storm that was coming behind me was just going to get me caught up in everything else. You just really got to be safe out here. You really got to make good decisions. If you get the truck in somewhere, you got to be able to get it back out of. And it's just like where this truck was parked at the yard where it was at. It was like really close and tight to some other trucks, but I just had to back and forth until I got that truck out of there. That's it, 2013. 2017... Yeah, it was 2013. I was at Werner. 2017, I was in North Dakota. I was hauling water that night that it's... No. I was hauling water. We got off that morning, and the snowstorm started that day, and then it kept going that night, and somewhere between 12 o'clock at night and 6 o'clock in the morning, it dumped 2 feet of snow. And then that's what came across North Dakota, and the rest of it dumped it in Minnesota. So if you go up there, make sure you are not timid about driving in the snow. If you've got weight in a tanker, you got fluid in the tanker, it will push you out into the road. You'll come to a stop, and if there's ice on the ground, that truck will just sit there, and that truck will do this. And if you're sitting at a light or you having to wait on other people to go by, it'll just slowly keep pushing you out there into the road. I've experienced it firsthand. Being light in a tanker, like an empty tanker, you have more of a chances to get stuck. If you're making a turn, somewhere, you have more of a chance to get stuck somewhere, because there's not that much weight on your tandems. So keep that stuff in mind. And Sterling, you know, that's one thing I've learned from my channel, your channel, watching other people's channel. You know, I'm not gonna have a chance to get in contact with everybody, or not everybody's gonna leave a like. Though those of you that do, appreciate that, thank you. Those of you that subscribe, appreciate that, and thank you. It's all part of this social media experiment that we're all taking part in. Carl Anderson, shout out to you. Thank you for the, I think that was you, for the super chat. Appreciate that. Shout out to Sterling Will, Bobby Franklin. You can't drive a truck if you're afraid to drive a truck. I covered that one. Trust me, not everyone you help leaves a message. Yeah, true. Great job supporting. 2013, 2017 was bad. Yep. COVID 2019. Dude, I want to get into some stuff, but I wish I had been recording public radio during that time, because it was before COVID happened. It was around November of 2019, somewhere up in there. I wish I had been recording on public radio. Marcus Berkeley, working on getting my CDL and hazmat right now. All thanks to you. All thanks to your vids. Sterling Will, 2017, I chained up 30 times that winter season. I don't mind putting chains on. I just want to put chains on one time. That's it. I'm not big on that putting chains on, taking them off, having to put it back. I'm not big on that stuff, bro. I'm not big on having to do that. I've had to do it, and usually in the oil field, unless it's really bad, because they want you to take your chains off once you get to the blacktop. I'll put chains on, but it's usually going to be to get to somewhere. And then once we get there, unless we're on ice or we're on packed down snow, we'll probably leave the chains on, because we know that we're going to have to use the chains to move them once we go to a different well. So there's that. North Dakota does some freaky stuff. Going from fall to winter and going from winter to spring, North Dakota would do funny stuff like melt snow, freeze it back overnight, car accidents. And if you don't believe me, there's a Facebook page called Bakken Fail of the Day. And dude, since that page has been up, I get astonished. Like, I'll be looking at some of that stuff like, how did you do that? Just like the video, it's one of the 3 worst crashes I've ever actually seen that puzzle me how they happened. The truck was facing this way, and you could see the skid marks, but I was trying to, how did he get facing this way? But it's on my YouTube channel in the shorts and stuff, and you'll see it. But I just wanted to stop by and show support. Keep up the good work, JP. Appreciate that, Sterling Will, man. You keep cranking out them videos, man. I didn't know this would turn into what it turned into. I was trying to get two specific people to come out to the oil field. More specifically, one. And I told him about it for years. I'm like, hey man, come on out here to the oil field. Me and him had a falling out because, hey, it's not working for you down here. Try something different. You know, just come up here, look and see. This may be something better than where you're at. So they decided to do what they wanted to do, and I said, okay, hey, it's all this information that y'all are looking at started because of him. I'm like, hey, you know, it's not working out down here. Come up here. Look. I had an apartment for 15. Wait. I had that apartment in 17. I had a company apartment in 15 to 16. Then I got my own apartment in 17, 18, 19, 20. So 4 years. I had an apartment for 4 years. And I would have went and got me another apartment so that, you know, they could have had their own space. But I'm happy that this stuff is helping somebody. Shout out to Sterling Will, Marcus Berkeley. Shout out to Motivation. Is the risk really worth it? Worth it of driving a truck? Dude, I've been driving so long, it's not, I can't see it as a risk. And whenever I did, it might have been back in the very beginning. You're not taking a risk. Just don't fail your drug test. Just don't fail your drug test. When you're going to get your CDL and you're going through that process of beginning a new career field in your life, don't do anything to compromise it. Don't do nothing where you're gonna keep from traveling on the road that you decided to get on. Do whatever you need to do to be successful. You don't have to compromise your morals and nothing like that. Just make sure you set out to complete the goal. If you have any personal habits, if you know somebody that has some personal habits, like, hey, you need to get those lined out, because that may end up tripping you up on where you're trying to get to. So I don't see driving trucks as any kind of a risk. I don't see driving trucks as anything bad. I see driving trucks as a great opportunity and career field for any and everybody. For the CEO of Amazon, for Jeff Bezos. Man, if Jeff Bezos got a CDL, he'd be a better person. If Mark Zuckerberg went and got his CDL, I'm pretty sure he'd be a better person, and Facebook will probably turn out better too. If everybody had to go get their CDL or go through that driving experience of you turning right and the trailer going in the other direction and trying to make 53 feet plus behind you do what you wanted to do to get it between the lines, that's some it's some mind-challenging interpersonal figuring out stuff going on, and it's awesome. I'm in the group. I worked up there last year hauling frac sand and a pneumatic. Man, I told somebody, man, it was a pneumatic up there. They were like, man, ain't nobody been hauling pneumatics up here since 5 years. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Because a pneumatic is just a pressurized hopper bottom. That's all it is. And then you can always just cut that line off on the bottom and put you like an 8-inch valve on there, and you'd have a hopper bottom. Load the stuff in the top, close the compartments, unload it in the bottom. So keep that in mind in case you guys ever purchase a pneumatic trailer. But then, of course, when you do that, unless you have the one where you have both, I've seen those over in West Texas. Let's see. Motivation says, best wishes. Appreciate that, man. Sterling Will, you take it easy, bro, and be safe out here. All the best from Motivation. Appreciate that. New to the channel. What's it about? My channel is about oil field opportunities, job posts, how to operate oil field equipment, trucking, working on trucks from time to time. Pretty much a little bit of everything is what my channel is about. Mainly my channel is about helping anybody who's trying to help themselves do something in the direction of the experience that I already have. That's that's all I can that's all I can give and say. It's like purchasing property or some land, like where this is right here. Even though y'all can't see it, it ain't but 2 acres. But if you purchase 2 acres that's never had anything done to it, and it's got a bunch of trees on it, what are you going to do with the trees if you can't haul them off or burn them? What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to look like if you're looking down at it from Google Maps? What do you want it to look like some years from now? And how do you be as efficient with the resources that you spend on getting that done? So there's quite a bit to my channel. Also, I interview people. I interview other truck drivers. I don't do as much as I used to because things ain't the way they used to be. LOL, it's so sad. I know many truck drivers who just bought the license. One thing about if you get your CDL now, it's different now versus the way it was. So, hey, which one of y'all said you already got your hazmat? Did you have to go through a hazmat class online, or did you have to go through a hazmat in person? How does that work nowadays? One of y'all said y'all had y'all hazmat. I forgot who it was. But if you're still watching, just let me know. Did you have to do that hazmat theory or something online, or did you have to do that in a classroom? Because I've heard different stuff. What's the short and sweet advice? Save your money and invest it, and put more money back for when you're not going to be able to work. Put more money back for when you want to retire. Invest more money for when you're not going to be able to work. Invest more money for when you want to retire. Invest more money if you want to put it towards your kids, college or something. Invest more money so that you can give your children something that allows them to bridge a gap. Because I was just talking to somebody about how we were all late bloomers, and one of the reasons is we were late bloomers is it was the lack of information. And we were having a long conversation about this because I want to give you guys something that this guy said to me, and it perfectly sums up the state of Mississippi. If you've never been here, Mississippi is the last to get new stuff, but Mississippi is also the last to get bad news. Mississippi is the last place to get new stuff or new come here, but Mississippi is also the last place to get bad, bad stuff or bad anything. And usually that means we can see it coming way down the road before it gets here. And it also means that we're at a deficit when it comes to opportunities that we don't have the information on. I'll put it that way. That's the way Mississippi is. I'm born and raised here, bro. That's a stamp guarantee. Like if it's stamped 100% on the screen right there. And he said it the best way I ever heard anybody say it. Mississippi ain't behind. It's just what it is. That's great to hear. Thank you for the reply. I will subscribe and check out the channel. Yeah, I got plenty more videos and some more dropping tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and the day after that, and all next week too. King Mail, I did it online. Okay, King Mail, appreciate that, bro. Just renewed my license this month. The hazmat or the license and the hazmat? Well, when you renew your license, you got to renew your hazmat. Yeah, you do. Or is it when you switch states? Man, that's another thing. If you are from the state of Mississippi and you're going to North Dakota at the time that I did it, the 2 times that I did it, and I think it was the same way when I did it coming back. My license was originally from Mississippi. My CDL went with my license when I renewed my license, but my hazmat didn't, and I had to go take my hazmat again. And I think when I came back home and I finally transferred my license to Mississippi, I had to take my hazmat again. But it might just be on the renewal. Don't quote me on that. Just my license. Bobby Franklin says my brother had to take an online course. Appreciate that. That's what I was kind of thinking. Motivation. Thank you so much for all the replies. Columbia, Mississippi. What's up, man? Man, I be out there in Prentice, bro. I be out there in Granby, out there in Prentice, out there in Hattiesburg, out there in Collins, out there in Hot Coffee, Mississippi. I be out there in Ellisville, out there in Pella, out there in Decatur, out there in Heidelberg, out there in Bay Springs, man. I be out there. Mostly Hot Coffee, and then I'll shoot out there to Prentice, which I'm probably do tomorrow. I got to get up with old dude. He's got a YouTube channel about logging called what's this dude channel? Life with Big E. Well, you can't really see it because my screen is messed up, but Life with Big E. He makes logging videos and let y'all know what's going on with logging. He also has an inspirational word of the day and stuff like that, and he really keeps it positive. He's from Mississippi. That really makes a difference for me. Let's see, where was I at in the comments? Columbia, Mississippi. You know anybody got a bumper pool trailer for sale? If you do, message me on Facebook Messenger. A ride mower or a bumper pull trailer, something I can pull behind my pickup truck. Both, and see, got to renew both at the same time. Yep, Big E. Yep, you're right. Guys, I think we have accomplished a lot of productive things today, and the mosquitoes are working their way in here. So I'll let you know if I run across anything. Appreciate that, man. Guys, thank y'all for checking out the videos. Anybody that I didn't give a chance to shout out to you. I know I said shout out to Motivation, King Mel, Bobby Franklin, Sterling Wheel, as a doula. Shout out to you. Appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in. Marcus Berkeley, I said Sterling Wheel, Carl Anderson, and everybody who was here earlier today. Chicomba. I think I said Carl Anderson already. Ghost Town Bullies, appreciate that, bro. Thank you for tuning in, and thank the rest of y'all for bringing whoever you brought with you to the channel. Monero Mac, appreciate that. Chester Washington, appreciate that. Grunty 144. I really wanted to do this with this other phone, but this other phone wouldn't pick up the Wi-Fi, so. Jay Hanada, Diff the Cow, Mary G. Duran, Chase Fan, Colette Davis. I think that's it. David, shout out to David. Also want to give a big shout out to you too, man. You guys stay safe, and I also want to give a shout out to some people that already subscribe. I don't see them in here, but they may be watching, or they may watch later. Shout out to Ison Van. Shout out to Master C 1009. Shout out to Melissa Thomas. Shout out to JQ. Shout out to Party Hard the Trucker. Shout out to Doc Rob, Blake, Get On 436, Caleb Walters. Shout out to Owen Trammell. Shout out to you, bro. BSJ. Shout out to DJ Pete. Shout out to Life with Big E. Shout out to Carso Clip, Leon Lucero, Troy Lee James. Nadim Itzer. DC, shout out to Henry Bob Swokers, shout out to Mike's Mischief, Christian Cowboy, TTLG, shout out to Lone Wolf, shout out to Mrs. Applebaum, shout out to JoJo Cincy, shout out to Tonka, Carl Young, CE, like the two letters CE, Dylan Bledsoe, shout out to Sub, Warp Speed, Sherwood Kennedy, shout out to Rival, Julie Johnson, and the list goes on. Shout out to the Bakken Brothers, Chase and Andrew Jackson, shout out to Red Top, Truck Community, Guilty 718. Shout out to Mad Trucker Nation. Shout out to Tanker Yanker. Shout out to Bakken Dirt. Man, the list goes on, man. The list goes on. And it's getting dark out here. So shout out to all you guys, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate that, and be safe. Make sure you tell your people that you love them, bro, because life is short. So keep that stuff in mind. I will holler at you guys later. And if there's anybody else that I missed, shout out to Dread the Trucker up there in North Mississippi. Shout out to Luke Powell. If any of you guys are interested in stuff related to Tijuana, Mexico, or going over there to Mexico, Luke Powell. Look him up on YouTube, and he's got all the information you could possibly think of about going to Tijuana, going to Mexico, where to go, good places to visit, hotels, and more. Shout out to Mr. 75 Pete. He's a guy, he makes YouTube videos about his Peterbilt that he's rebuilding. Shout out to North Dakota Driver. Shout out to Not for Hire. Oil Field Training Center. That's a YouTube channel. It's got a lot of good informational oil field stuff. So if you're looking for something that will kind of get you in the mind, okay, that's what this is, that's how that works, I'll have to make another video on that. Shout out to Sincerely Yours, Nadia, Tanker Monkey. Shout out to Trucking with Ty. And there's even more than that. I just can't think of it right now. So all you guys, thank y'all. Be safe. God bless. And if you aim for the moon, man, if you miss, at least you'll be among the stars. I'll let y'all later. Peace. How do you turn this off? Yeah.